Okay, so today our presentation is about city and state government reforms, but what we did is we took different reforms of the progressive era and we applied it to modern day life situations. So each of our scenes is a different reform, or a city or state reform, applied to a situation we might experience today or like in this day and age. So before each scene, we'll give you a little bit of background and a little bit explaining about what our characters are, so that's really clear to you guys the message we're trying to convey. So scene 1 is the introduction of the Australian ballot around and direct election. So in this scene, I am the prom queen and I represent the party bosses. And I can explain them. So Haarika is a worker at the voting booth. For now, this desk is the voting booth, and Melanie is a student at our school, but she represents an immigrant voter. So what we're going to do is we're going to carry out with our scene and just explain to you what the Australian ballot and direct election really is. So, we can start.
Man, I don't want to vote for Samantha for prom queen, but I really need her to tutor me for AP American History. Ever since I moved from Region to American History, I've really been struggling to keep up and succeed in this class. Without Samantha, I would be failing. I came to APUSH because I wanted to challenge myself and succeed in a new environment. I would hate to go back to Regents now. I better vote for her.
You better vote for me! I can see exactly who you voted for, and anyone who does not vote for me cannot be a part of our APUSH study group anymore. I have done a lot to help you guys succeed and adapt to your new classes, even when nobody else, including the teachers, would help you. I expect you to maintain your loyalty to me after all I've done for you. And so this is represents the time before the Australian ballot, and now we're going to go into after the Australian ballot and direct election was issued.
So it's the time of the year to vote again. Samantha's running again? She hasn't done much to help me in APUSH this year. Maybe it's time for me to vote for someone with a new vision and different methods. I better choose someone who will promise to make changes in helping us as we continue to adapt to high school life.
Re-elect Samantha for prom queen! Excuse me, can you tell me who she just voted for?
No, that is no longer allowed. Because of the new administration, our school has established a secret or Australian ballot. Now, our students are guaranteed privacy when voting, and this ensures that they vote for people that they believe are best fit for the job, and not the ones who intimidate and bribe them.
What, seriously? How am I supposed to say prom queen if I can't make sure our candidates are elected? This whole system's gonna fall apart.
That's right. See, if you look right over there, we have new booths in place. There are dividers between each booth, and a small slit at the top of the box. The purpose of enacting the Australian ballot and direct election is to maintain the best possible true democracy that Americans are promised.
And scene. So, scene 2
is delegating the roles in the classroom, and that's the analogy for the city commissioner plan, which is basically where the city made multiple people heads of different sections of different roles in the government. So one person would be in charge of sanitation in the city, and another one would be in charge of making sure that crime is taken care of, so safety. So here, Haarika is going to be playing the bad teacher, which is supposed to parallel the incapable council of the time in the city. And Samantha is the students with leading roles, which are supposed to be the commissioners. And I'll be playing students who are the common people. Also, we might be calling out some of you guys as other common people.
Scene 2.
Okay. Oh no, someone has stolen our class pet. And also, someone spilled water over there. Ew.
You, go get that water, pour it over the spill so it dilutes the liquid. And when you're done, go into the hall and call the name of the class pet so it'll come back.
But teacher, I don't see how either of these solutions will really help the problem effectively.
Look, don't worry about it. I'll take care of things, okay? It'll get done.
So, a week later, when the spill has yet to be dealt with and no initiatives have been taken to find the class pet,
The principal has elected me line leader.
how is it fair that there was no election? I bet there are people giving the principal cookies to let you be leader.
Okay, if you're scared about the leader not being elected, we can vote to elect someone leader instead of just appointing them.
So after the voting,
You can be a reporter. If anything goes wrong, report the problem to the principal so that she can handle the problem wisely and responsibly. You can make sure that the doors that be in charge of cleaning up the room at the end of the day, and yes you Everett, you can make sure that the door is locked at the end of the class each day so that no one besides us can have access to the room and our belongings in here.
wow, this system of so many different heads who all take care of their own specialized tasks is so efficient. When there was only one main leader, if that leader was corrupt, everyone would suffer. Also, the system was so inefficient, making it really difficult for the leader to keep everything in line. Now that everyone has their own responsibility for a certain aspect of the classroom, from sanitation to safety, each leader can be sure they do their best for their job.
And scene 2. Okay.
Oh wait, just to explain a little bit more, so the whole spill was supposed to, the spill of the water was what started this reform, and it was a hurricane hitting Texas, and the Galveston plan was basically when they started the idea of the commissioning and the committees.
Okay. Scene 3 is about initiative, referendum, and recall, and these three things basically gave the common people more power to make laws and also control what happens in the government. So initiative is when the people can propose a bill, so if enough people think that Congress should enact some sort of legislation, they can get a petition and then they propose it to Congress and then maybe it'll become a bill. Referendum is when they can vote on whether they want a bill passed or not, so they have a say and it's not just Congress deciding what laws they're making. And recall is even though once you've elected someone to office, if you feel that they're not doing their job, you can petition, have them removed for office, and same thing with a bill, you can get it removed.
So in the scene, each one of us represents a different form of reform. So I'm initiative.
I'm referendum.
And recall.
And we're gonna have a little interaction to explain what our policies are. So hey referendum, hey recall, we have an issue to consider. Political power is slipping from the hands of the peoples into those of the party bosses, and it's our job to help them regain that power. So how do we plan on bypassing the boss-bought state legislators?
I have an idea, initiative. I could provide people with the right to decide whether a bill or proposed amendment gets passed or rejected. This way they are given direct say in laws that will eventually govern them.
Yes, that's a great idea. We can even give them the option of directly writing and composing their own legislation so that their true thoughts are accurately represented in laws.
So you guys are talking a lot about legislation, but what can we do about the people who strongly disagree with the current leaders?
Wait, what are you saying? Those leaders have already been elected by the people. Therefore, they are already representative of what the people want.
Yes, but many elected officials have become corrupted by bosses or lobbyists, and the people should have the right to remove these leaders once they've abused their power.
You know, that's actually really true. That seems like a really good way for the states to counteract boss rule.
I also agree. These three great proposals bring democracy directly to the people and encourage a shift away from old political machines towards interest group politics. So end of scene 3.
This scene 4.
Scene 4 depicts the 16th Amendment, which was the first proposed income tax. And this had a lot of mixed reactions from the people because it was the first time the federal government directly taxed people before all their revenue came from tariffs and taxes that weren't direct. So this was needed because of all the advancements going on in the country during that time. They just didn't have enough money to do it all. And obviously the rich didn't like this very much because they want to keep all their profits. But many people in agriculture industries, farmers, thought it was better because they thought it was also a better way to counteract the uneven distribution of wealth.
So in the play, Sam's a 6th grader, I'm a 7th grader, and Haarika's an 8th grader. And there's an art club. The board is supposed to represent the Senate, so you'll see that.
Just kidding. So in scene 4, I represent the principal of the school. Haarika represents students in favor.
And I'm the student in opposition to the system.
Yeah. So our students are at the peak of their educational careers. We have more technology and resources than ever before and hope that our school can utilize them to the best of its ability. Our school is also growing in size as masses of students continue to transfer to our school from neighboring districts to experience the opportunity given to all students. But with these new facilities and people, we do not have the adequate staff. Student volunteers and teachers are not enough to maintain the numerous clubs and activities occurring at our school. We need a new method of recruiting people. Every student should be required to give up a certain amount of time per day to volunteer in the many parts of our school.
This is not fair. The school does not have the power to tell us to give up our time for its benefit.
Students are entitled to give back to the school so that we can be as productive a community as possible. I wouldn't mind giving up some of my time if other people did the same. And a lot of people can afford to give up that time anyway.
End of scene 4.
Okay, so scene 5. Now Sam's a 6th grader, I'm a 7th grader, Haarika's an 8th grader. And basically, this is supposed to parallel the 17th Amendment, where the Senate, they take 2 representatives from each state and they go to the Senate. So the art club, the board of the art club is supposed to represent the Senate, and each of us are supposed to be the different states sending our own representatives.
Yay! I'm so excited I was elected from my grade to be a part of the middle school art club board.
I am too. With this new system modeled after the 17th Amendment, we will have a very good representation of qualified artists for the board this year.
Yeah, 2 people from each grade will be much more efficient.
Also, the new regulations say that at any time there are vacancies in the board positions, they'll guarantee that the vacant spots are filled.
That way there's a fully functioning board at all times.
End of scene 5. So, scene 6 is about the 18th Amendment, which was the prohibition of alcohol. And in this scene, actually there's a little, you can change it on your copy. Melanie is the college advisor, so you can cross out parent. That is my typo mistake. And Haarika is the boyfriend, I am the girlfriend, and she's the college advisor. So there's going to be a point in time where we freeze the scene, and Melanie will be speaking to the general public, which is referring to the general college. And so we're just going to like depict how, why the 18th Amendment was proposed and why it was later on repealed. So, just chill.
Hey babe, grab me some dinner. I'm gonna leave to go out soon.
Where do you think you're going? Are you really going to that frat party today?
I don't know, I'm just going out, okay? Mind your own business.
Have you been drinking?
No, let me do what I want. Do what you're told.
Next morning, this college has had many reported cases of domestic violence due to the intoxication of alcohol. In efforts to reduce and eliminate the continual violence, a new rule is being passed. Very similar to the 18th Amendment, the manufacture, sale, or transportation of intoxicating liquors within this college is hereby prohibited.
Finally, I can feel safe now.
Hey, my friends are starting a new business. If we join them, we can make a lot of money. This way we can pay off our tuition debts, and maybe I can get you even that new necklace you wanted.
What kind of business is this?
Well, it involves smuggling. I'm sure it's safe. It's not a big deal.
Smuggling of what?
There's just a few bottles of the...
There has been a massive increase of organized crime in the college. We have realized that the prohibition of alcohol here has been counter-effective and caused the same problems that they were trying to prevent. Therefore, this rule has officially become repealed.
End of scene 6.
This is the last one. The 19th Amendment gave women the right to vote. So this was obviously very revolutionary because it also kind of started the reforms for women to get involved in other parts of life, more involved in politics, socially, economically. So in this scene, Sam is going to be a girl who's posing as a boy. I am a boy. I am a sexist boy. And this is...
I'm the boy.
Oh, no.
The teacher's a hard.
I'm the teacher.
Hark is the teacher.
Yeah, this is the boy. So it's going to depict people's reactions to women voting and just obviously people didn't approve of it immediately.
So to understand the scene, we're just waiting online to vote, and then that's the voting booth. So
Use the worker.
just to understand.
So, scene 7.
Good evening, boys. Please make a straight line right behind the voting booth for this year's new leader of the sports committee.
Wow, I sure love exercising my rights as a male student of this great democratic school.
Definitely, it's great that we get to choose who we want leading us this year on the team. Our school sports championship record this year is so important.
Yeah, although it's a shame that girls can't vote.
Really? I disagree. Girls don't really deserve the right to vote. I mean, when it comes down to it, boys are just better at sports overall.
How dare you say that? Girls are just as able and dedicated as boys. Our opinion should be considered as well.
Excuse me, girls cannot vote here. I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Get out of here.
Get out of the line.
I am a student of this school just as much as any other guy. I am educated, hardworking, and an equal. This school prides itself for providing opportunity to all and discriminating against none. One day, there will truly be a democracy in which all students are regarded, and all students, regardless of gender, can be granted the same rights and courtesies. I'll show both of you. One day, women will see equal voting rights. So this is after the new rule has been enacted that girls can vote.
Hey girls, step right this way to the voting booth.
Thanks to organizations like Girls' Rights School Club, modeled after the famous National American Women's Suffrage Association and National Women's Party, us girls can now have the equal opportunity to vote.
Wow, we meet again, and boy, have you proved me wrong.
Yes, through peaceful and democratic means, we were able to finally gain the rights we deserve, just like the ratification of the 19th Amendment was the most significant achievement of women in the progressive area. This change made history for our school. So end of scene 7. That's my presentation for today.